Hi there, I'm Chris Berman. We got a lot of games to cover, so let's get to it. In our first game this week, we had the Bengals squeeze out a 4-point victory. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris. Let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. Burns is on the move as he gets a contract for what can only be referred to as crazy money. 4 years, $2.2 million. Dixon is on the move. Perhaps not for all that he thought he'd get, but a good deal nonetheless. 3 years, $3.1 million. Klein is on the move as well as he signs a 3-year contract with the Eagles.
In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Vikings pick up win number 2. Plexico Burress stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Jimmy Smith had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Jaguars beat the Cardinals. In San Diego, right by Coronado Bay, we had the Chargers get sent home with a 14-point loss. Falcons, Saints. Hampton
is sometimes in no man's land, but you play the corner, you got to be tough. Reads it perfectly, picture perfect down the sidelines, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown, 55-yard pick.
The Saints go on to win this by the final score of 42-28. Over at Edward Jones Dome, we had the Rams end up on the right side of an 11-point game. The Seahawks got 300-plus yards from their offense in their victory at 3Com Park. The Colts won on the road and will now head home to meet the Jaguars. Richard Seymour had another good performance in the win and showed us why he's ranked up at the top of the league. In a long-standing AFC rivalry, we had the Bills pick up their 3rd win of the season. Donovan McNabb went to the end zone 4 times and helped his Eagles beat the Chiefs. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Boomer, thanks. Luckily, we had a relatively injury-free week, which makes my job just that much easier. Mark Simoneau is arguably the biggest name on this list. He'll be out for 11 weeks. So that'll do it for now. Chris, let's send it back to you.
In the home of country music, Tennessee, we had the Titans edge their way to a narrow 3-point win. And in our final game, we had the Buccaneers come away victorious. So that'll just about do it. But before we go, I'm going to toss out a few game balls to my prime-time players. Each and every one of these men had a week to remember. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.